What's actually happening to engineering jobs? Maybe for some younger folks in the audience, a bit of pessimism. We'll get to the optimistic part. We see that developer employment ages 22 to 25 have decreased by 20%. A couple of other grim numbers, and then the grimmest number is junior dev postings have dropped by 60%. So I think this is also about perception and perception of employers. So if you think that AI agents can churn out code on the same level as junior developers, why do you actually need junior developers in your company? And I think that's something that everyone is thinking. And I know that like training junior developers is a hassle, it's a time waster. Why would you do it if you can just prompt an agent to like churn out 6 PRs a week, the same like throughput of a junior developer? And that's why these junior dev job postings are dropping so much. And I'll assume that that's largely the thinking here. I don't want to make you raise your hands because that's an uncomfortable thing to accept. But that's kind of the prevailing opinion. That's what data shows. But from my perspective, it's also again about maintainability of your, let's say, of your company in the end. So if you're not actually hiring juniors, who's going to be there in 5 years to actually take over the work of the seniors who are leaving? You have to think about that developers don't want to stay in your company. Like in 99% of the cases, developers won't stay in your company for more than 10 years, or they'll switch jobs, they'll go to retire, right? You need to think about the kind of the next generation who's going to take over the company culture in the end. And in that sense, it might make sense to invest in a junior and then kind of bring it up in your company, make it part of the culture, and that junior will then kind of own the parts that those seniors are actually churned out with all of this AI, right? So, and from a business perspective, again, maybe it doesn't make sense because AI subscription is probably cheaper than junior. But if you're thinking about your company in the long term, you really need to think about sustainability. And if we run out of juniors, that's also a problem, because if job postings of junior developers go down to zero, who's gonna actually in 5 years maintain all of the code that these seniors actually churned out?